Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, about to start Tominari's route. I wanted to start when the game loads up in like the menu screen, because when I loaded the game up, blah blah blah, guess who's on our menu screen? Tominari. It's like he knew. He's like, hey! And then the game was like, you waited too long, and it started to play the theme song, and when I went back it was Kinji, because the game wants to make me miss what I've moved on from. I will never move on from you, Kinji. Not in reality. Let's be real. But yes, we're starting Tominari's route. I also want to point out before we get there. Okay, so the notes here. Affection and sorrow endings can only be unlocked after finishing Kunitaka, Genjuro, Yoichi, and Kinji's routes, which we've already done, so good. Affection, sorrow, and bad end 3 unlock CGs, so he must have multiple bad ends. Makes sense, because he's one of the locked kind of routes. If you start his route without finishing the other 4, you'll get his bad end too. So there was no way to get his happy ending. You can only get his bad ending. So, again, bonus, if you love spicy scenes, be sure to unlock his tragic and bad ends. Why would they put the spice in tragic and bad ends? And also you're going to give me spice with Tominari, but nobody else? Really? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck? But anyway. So anyway. We have done this. I'm gonna work. Okay, what in the hell? Yes, I get that. Can we close and accept that? That's annoying. I want to work in... Entertainment District! No, I'm just kidding. Samurai Town. We're gonna work in Samurai Town, and we're going to skip everything. I'm sure some of this is going to be different, but it'll give you a quick refresher as we go through. So I'm not going to skip the other choices. We're going to actually because it'll be good, because this is the first route we played. So it's been a long time, you know. And I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in this, because I remember the kidnapping god and everything, but that was Tojo's actual route. So... we say don't point it out. Oh, no. Crap. I meant, god damn it. Go back. I'm hitting the wrong button. Yes, I don't know why it was already on that and I clicked to do this, but I double clicked and then ended up. Anyway, don't point it out. There you go. This one's so quiet for some reason in the background. I feel like there's no sound at all. Tominari is also teaching me for my own sake. This time it's an open-air tea ceremony, but there might come an opportunity when I'm invited to a normal tea party. So, was the same one, it was because, it was still the kids going missing and the kids were trying to... were they trying to kill Yoshimune? You know what I mean? The kids were still being kidnapped. So the kidnapping thing was still... the same thing? I don't remember. When I think about that, it might be best to continue listening to him. As I reached that conclusion, I once again focused on Tominari's explanations. When you enter the tea room, first pay attention to the wall scroll hanging in the alcove. The words on the wall scroll hold the same weight as the words from the head of the family. It'll be important to decipher the meaning. Then I'll need to study proverbs and idioms, right? No, you don't have to go that far. If you don't know, the head of the family or the people there will probably explain it for you. Because this is we're going to the tea ceremony, but it's not outdoor, it's going to be inside, and then we're like, oh my god, it's a totally different etiquette. I remember that, with Chie and everything, but... I mean, again, they usually flow into each other, but there's always a main thing. Oh, right! Tenichibo was the main thing. Why did I forget him? Oh, man! I forgot about that little chuckle fuck. Great times. What's most important is understanding why the head of the family chose that wall scroll. If you understand the other person's way of thinking and meet them halfway, the head of the family will definitely welcome you. As I listened to Tominari's explanation, emotions filled my chest. Tea ceremonies really place emphasis on people communicating from the heart. Feels like a kind and wonderful world full of consideration. I never thought of it that way before. You might be suited for the tea ceremony. You're someone who can understand others' feelings. It's because I have the power of the Hakuseki clan. If it can give me an advantage in the tea ceremony, then that's great. That's not what I meant. Huh? Oops, nope, sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to move my thing. I mean, this is oddly, like... It's really weird how quiet it is. I mean, normally I have my headset turned way down. But, like... And I can still hear the music, but now I'm like, I could crank it and barely hear it. But it's just as loud as it's always been. But it's just in the background. You know what I mean? Like the thing. I mean, it's actually technically... for a little while, maybe for Kinji's route and on, but it's been a little bit louder than it was when we first started recording. Because at one point I forgot to turn it back down, and I was like, oh, well, it's like a couple of percent higher. It went from 9 to 11. But, like, I don't want it too high because I don't want it to be, like, copywriting me for the background music all the time. But this time it's just very, very quiet. Maybe my computer volume is just down really low. It just seems really disjointing because, like, I recorded our other game earlier, and that one I could hear with my volume turned all the way down. And, like, my computer has not changed since then, but it's just very bizarre in this game. Anyway, you're underselling yourself. All right, that's enough. Sorry for interrupting, but remember why we're doing this, guys? The open-air tea ceremony is a tea party held outside. Where would they even have the space to hang a wall scroll? No, but we get stuck inside, remember? It's also pouring rain outside suddenly. At those words, silence permeated the air. For a while, Tominari looked around with a straight face, as if deep in thought. And then... That's true. At last, although he phrased his reply as a question, he nodded like he was convinced. So he wasn't teaching me indoor etiquette on purpose? At those shocking words, I was stunned for a bit. What's done is done. If I leave this to Tominari, I don't think we're ever going to finish. So from here, I'll carry on with the explanation. I wanted to teach her. We have no time for this, so put up with it. Okay, so then we... And then Mimi comes in, and this is where we learn the tea ceremony. All right. She beats the crap out of Kyoshiro. She gets mad at him, and then we get the CG of her beating him up. Or do we get the CG later when they're friends? All right, okay, this is when we're going to Chie's house for the ceremony. Okay, and everybody meets us, and then it's like, oh shit, it's raining. See, because Chie has a sprite. You know. But... I don't think there was a character that had a sprite in Tojo's aside from Chie, really. He didn't get it. So that's weird. His route's different. Like, Tanichibo shows up. I guess we answer, I'm assuming. Yes. Whoops, answer. But now that I think about it, Tominari taught me about Kiza the other day, right? As soon as I remembered that, I immediately spoke out. It's a type of sitting method where you kneel down to make a posture like Seiza, right? I was taught that you should do it before you open up a sliding door, but... Yes, that's right. You'd think something like that would be common knowledge, right? When I stated the information that I remembered, Chie nodded like she was satisfied. I don't remember the voice we gave her like 52 parts ago, so we're giving her a new one or whatever. The wariness in her threads also disappeared just now. I think I got it right. This is also thanks to Tominari teaching me so carefully. When I snuck a peek at Tominari, he gently smiled back at me. Good for you. After hearing his whispered words, I felt elated. It's like thunder in and everything. At the end of that conversation, it was about time for the tea party to come to a close. Okay. So then... they're talking to her about information. Okay, because, like... And then we're going to end up finding Tanichibo and, like, joining his clan. But, like... Yeah, okay, I forgot then he was like, I don't know, some dude, somebody at the fit, and then nobody was really there. Like, again, and we think it's Hibie because Hibie seems to be behind everything, as we've learned from Kinji's route. And now maybe we get a little bit closer because, again, I think Tanichibo, hey, you're definitely the kind of chick I like. Oh, remember him. Ah, this little fucker. Be honest and express embarrassment. Yeah, okay. I'm just assuming the opposite choices. Duh. I agonized over it. I didn't think he'd say that, and I was truly confused as when he was like, hey, you're really hot. You should be my girl. I mean, normal people wouldn't think to propose to someone they don't know. On top of that, he said lawful wife. That means he fully plans on having mistresses, right? Sure, shogun families have harems, but to say that right from the beginning seems kind of rude. But if I stated my honest opinion, there was a chance that it could affect the mission. We have harems? I mean, I have a man harem. I like this. I want to be the shogun, so I can have a man harem. This is awesome. That's why people go into positions of power. It's not because you want to do the right thing and you want to, like, make sure that, constitutions are upheld and shit. It's because you want to have a man harem. Got it. I mean, have you seen some politicians out there and the horse that they are? You wouldn't be surprised. You also want to commit ethics violations left, right, front, and center, and they feel like they can do that. But I'm just saying, I'm here for the man harem. I'm gonna run this shit so I can have a bunch of hot men. Oh, wait, I don't have to run this shit to have the hot men. They all live in my head. Because they're 2D and not... Perfect. Perfect! Look at this. I'm living the life, gals. I was gonna say guys, and then it came out wrong. Whatever. Anyway, if I stated my honest opinion, there was a chance I could... I read that. There's no way around it. I won't point that out, but I'll answer honestly. I'm sorry, that would be a little difficult. What? Why not? I mean, we've just met, so... Come on, that doesn't matter. If we both feel a spark, then we can get married on the spot. It's no big deal. It's a big deal to me! What about me don't you like, huh? Is it my face? I think I'm pretty handsome like my dad. But am I just not your type? Well, first of all, he's not your dad, and like... I mean, Yoshimune's pretty much a daddy, so like... Obviously, considering my bloodline, you wouldn't have to worry about the future. You'd never have to work a day in your life. It sounded more appealing. It might have been bad to reject him up front. Tanichibo explained all of his charms to me, going point by point. That would have been fine on its own, but he was also getting closer and closer. The pressure! If this goes on... Excuse me. I should back off. But at that point, Tominari immediately barged in from the side. Tominari! Spacey, are you alright? Yeah, thank you. I'm just gonna say, you looking over your shoulder like this is beautiful. Maybe you should always stay like this. There's nothing really wrong with Tominari. Like, he's cute. He's not my favorite. There's nothing wrong with him. But, like, I'm not like, God, you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? I do think he's cute, though. Okay. Kind of like Tojo. Like, you're like, Tojo's cute. Yeah. But, like, this sprite of Tominari's, like, his profile and then looking over his shoulder does like that. Like, I don't know why this is hot. You are gorgeous right now. Like, stay like this. It's, like Otaro. There's certain sprites of his. You're like, if your sprite was like this all the time, I'd, like, sold. But then he goes to his other sprites, and you're like, see, now you're just adorable. And you want to boop him on his nose, and you're like, I don't want to date you because you're too cute. And then he goes to his other sprites that you like, and you're like, you know what, those ones are hot, though. So, like, I mean, good job to the game, because, like, I don't really have a problem with any of them, to be fair. Again, some of them, not my type, but, like, I'm here for it still. They still look pretty. And the CGs are usually good, so... I'm just saying... Props. The game's gonna end up being those ones where you're like, they were all good and I like them all. Like, alright. That's a rare occurrence. Anyway, yeah, thank you. I don't know if I read that. Thanks to that, I was finally freed from Tanichibo's pressure. But from Tenichibo's perspective, Tominari was nothing more than an unwanted third wheel that had appeared out of nowhere.
What the hell, man? I'm in the middle of flirting with her. Can't you tell?
Can't you tell? She's uncomfortable.
How? She was smiling.
Oh my god. I don't know if in Tojo's route we got the Tenichibo is that guy.
Hey, oh my god, you're...
Yeah, no, I'd please like you to leave. No, can you leave?
What? She didn't, like, try to stab me, so obviously she's totally into it and wants my dick, man.
She said no 47 times.
Well, like, I mean, how was I supposed to know that?
Because no means no, and it's a complete sentence, motherfucker. Oh, dear God! Tenichibo, you're better than this. Not by much. You're still kind of trash, but, like, in a fun kind of, like, you know... It's in a fun kind of way. You know what I mean? You're trash in a fun way. Not like, oh my god, sexy, hot trash, but it's like, you're kind of trash. Like, you're comedic relief side character trash that we enjoy. But you're still better than being that guy. She was being polite. What? You can't even tell that. If you're gonna say you like someone, maybe you should think about how they feel. If you can't do that, then I'm not gonna let you have her. Tominari over here with the wise motherfucking words for a man without feelings.
What? You want to fight right now?
Alright, that's enough. Sorry, he always gets like this when it's about her. They're relatives, so he can be a bit overprotective. Sorry, but could you overlook this? They're relatives. And then we're gonna fall in love with him, but we're relatives. Gosh. I mean, it's for faking out Tenichibo, but I'm just saying. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it being pretend. We can lean into that. I'm still not 100% convinced he's not a form folk that we made like Miharu, okay? I'm just saying. Not fully convinced. You know? Like, why was he so adamant at the very beginning? Look! And you're like, that's a really cool little pill case. Is that where you hide your drugs, man? Or it's where you hide your allergy pills? What's going on in there? And he's like, this was me! Like, he was so adamant to show you the second you fucking met him. You know what I mean? Why? And you're one of the routes that we can't do until the end? Why? That's sus. I'm just saying. Feels like we should have recognized that little pill case is all I'm saying.
That's how it is.
Just as the atmosphere was turning hostile, Tojo immediately threw us a lifeline. Fortunately, that explanation seemed to convince Tenichibo and put him at ease.
Well, fine. I'll let you guys join us.
Really?
Yeah, I don't lie. Part of it's because I want you, but how should I say this? From what I just saw, I think I get your situation now.
Your situation?
Your succession. It's for Spacey, right? You could have just told me that from the start. I would have let you guys join right away.
I didn't quite understand how he'd gotten there, but it seemed that Tenichibo had drawn his own conclusions. Perhaps because he understood that as well, Tominari purposely chose not to correct him. Tominari's like, whatever gets him to accept us, whatever. Was this for the best?
Tominari, that was a pretty risky move back there.
Well, if I let it slide, she'd be uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, but for the mission.
Spacey, remember, even if it's for a mission, you can say if you don't like something. Tominari's over there being like, don't always give consent just because a pretty man tells you to join a brothel! Tominari knows exactly what happened in the last round. He's like, I know exactly what... Okay, but, I mean, if Kinji tells... Just because Kinji says to jump, I absolutely ask how high. I'm just going to keep jumping until he's satisfied. If Kinji asked you to jump off a bridge, yes, I would jump off a bridge. Yes! I don't know how much clearer we have to get. I will do anything that man says because he makes me stupid. Everyone else, I might be like, I don't know about this, but like maybe. Oh god. And I feel like if I don't know, I guess again, the thing that sucks is doing Tojo's route so much longer ago and having 3 routes in between. You know, I kind of like the way Kuga and Yoichi were, where they're back to back. You know what I mean? So like the common route was more familiar, like you remember it easier. This is harder because it's like there's been like 3 routes in between. It's been like 84 years. So I'm like, all right, Tanichiba, I kind of forgot about you, and I always forget your name, sir. But like, I feel like in this, like Tojo might have stood in a little bit more. Like, obviously, like Tominari's gonna take a back seat in Tojo's route, vice versa, on the choices we're making. But you know, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Tojo seemed dissatisfied, but I was really happy that Tominari was being so considerate. Tojo doesn't have a heart, that's why. And he's never gonna get one. Maybe. Next time I'll do my best so I don't weigh everyone down. Anyway. So, now we're part of the gang. Okay, alright. Oh, didn't somebody come, like, interrupt and then he pulled out his little pocket demon? And, like, not that pocket demon. Because he wanted to whip out his pocket demon on us. Oh, there's Kyoshiro. But anyway. Alright, so then we're like... Oh, is this where we're adopting Komame? Do we not adopt Komame? When does he give us Komame to take care of? We always end up with her. Oh, you know what? That's probably actually in the main common route, the common route, not the work common route. I don't know why, just because I saw her name pop up. Anyway, I'm sure we're supposed to say we're coworkers, yeah. Kids are surprisingly observant. If I just lie carelessly, they might easily see through it. Then I'll just be honest here. We're coworkers. I work in the same place as him. Even after I said that, for some reason, the children furrowed their brows suspiciously. Even though you're a girl? Huh? Girls can't become samurai, right? How can you have the same job as master? Oh no. I'm so used to being an Oniwamban that I completely forgot about my status. But it was already too late. The children gathered together and started to discuss in whispers. We made a mistake. Big sister is actually a big brother. We accidentally transgender now. Like, whatever. You're like, that's right. You thought just because I was pretty, I was a girl, but I'm actually a Shh, just go with it. Just go with it. Let the kids think. What? Isn't that a bit of a stretch? I've never seen a man dress like that before. Hey! Stuffing me in your gender stereotypes, kid. It's Pride Month. Not sure when this is going up, but it is June right now as I'm recording it. But it might be July by the time this goes up, so... Happy belated Pride Month, everybody! That's kind of great. Yeah, Big Sister has a proper girl's voice, too. Hey, you know what? That could be an insult. Maybe I was a boy and I was born with a voice like this. You don't know. Something could be wrong with my vocal cords. Then maybe she's doing samurai work that even a girl can do. They seem more baffled by that. Actually, I think they seem less baffled by that, to be fair. They're like, what? A man who sounds like that and dresses like that? Then she must be doing man work. That's feasible. I believe that. You know, good for these kids, I guess. There's no way that's possible. Hey, boy. Somebody kick sand in boy's face. Boy number 2 is a little bit better. Nope. There is one possibility. Huh? What's that? A kunoichi? What's a kunoichi? Oh, yeah. If she's a kunoichi, then she can work with Master. Wow, this is my first time seeing a kunoichi. Actually, it's my first time seeing a ninja, so they really do exist. Big sis, what kind of work do you usually do? Can you use new ninjutsu? Do you have shuriken? We've been this in other games, but they didn't call it What the fuck did she just call it? They didn't call it that. Now the name escapes me. That's... Ah! Me and my big stupid mouth!
Yeah, all right, everyone, settle down.
But when Tojo clapped his hands loudly, the children all closed their mouths at once.
Sorry to rain on your parade, but she doesn't work as a kunoichi. She's a master at a temple school. She's gonna be working with me at this temple school from now on.
Huh? Does that mean she's our new master?
That's right. You should say hi to her while you have the chance.
Tojo was just sitting there the whole time like, I want to see where this goes. And then when they were like, what? And we were like, oh, he's like, all right, she is properly fallen apart. Guys, let me jump in now. He's been standing there this whole motherfucking time listening to these kids. He thought it was funny. You know he did. After Tojo said that to them, the children hugged me with sparkling eyes. Yay, master, it's a new master. This is awesome. Nice to meet you, big sis. If you start teaching, that means there'll be more temple school classes. I'm so excited. Look at these kids really ready, willing, and able to go to school and learn. Damn. I don't make kids like that anymore. I was one of those kids that didn't make like that. I was like, oh, God, school. Oh. Now I'd much rather go back to school than have to work. You're like, wait, what? Well, wait a minute. I was like, go back to high school? No, I don't want to do that either. No, maybe I'll just suffer through working and being an adult. Oh. There's always an adulty or adult to adult for me when I don't want to do the adulty adult things. That's fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Anyway, I have something to discuss with her. Everyone go ahead and return to the classroom.
Okay! And then the children immediately ran off. After we saw them off, Tojo turned back to me while scratching the back of his head.
My bad. I had no choice but to explain it that way back there.
You could have explained it that way earlier. No, you actually saved me. Tojo, thank you so much. Right, because I forget what the other option was when we did that. It was like, oh, you guys are getting married. And we're like, sure.
Sorry. I know it's like I gave you more work, but if you have the time, could you drop by here? I'm sure they'll be happy too.
Yeah, of course. I look forward to working with them. Though there were some detours along the way, the situation was resolved neatly, and I let out a sigh of relief. I think we still ended up with the same, like, hey, you want to help out at the school? Because, but they were like, you guys are getting married. Yeah, we're like, no. He's like, what? No. All right, anyway, now we're back with Tanichibo. Oh, and okay, then we see his Magatama. And this is when we're raiding the town because he's like, demand my daddy come out and talk to me. And we're like, okay, yeah, it's not your daddy. And then they're like, basically they go, Yoshimune wasn't in that town at the time this kid was conceived. Yeah, because otherwise he's like, I don't know, I stick it to a lot of bitches. That was basically the outcome of this one, wasn't it? It was like they're like, is this your illegitimate son? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. Plausible. I can't keep track. And it's like, sir, whore. And then they had to do some proving. Nope, why am I special? Why am I special? Is it because I'm part of the Hakuseki clan? If I had to think of myself as special, that was about the only reason I could think of. When I asked out of pure curiosity, Tomonari furrowed his eyebrows in a troubled expression. Yeah, this is the last choice before we hit his route. I don't know. Even though it's about yourself? Yeah, my memories and heart are sealed. It shouldn't even be possible for me to consider anyone special. See, this makes me feel like he's like, my heart and memories are sealed, but we're special. But it's not like, yeah, no, it's because you're a member of the Hakuseki clan and we were told that you were special, therefore I'm treating you like that. He's got some other motivation. I swear to God, if it is not we almost brought him to life or somehow someone in our family did or something, you know what I mean? There's some connection there. Because why would he just be so willing to show us the object he was created from? You know what I mean? Like, we always find out later in the route before we fall in love with them, but like instantaneously, like, hi, I'm Space. Look, this is what I came from. You know what I mean? Like, he was just really adamant to whip it out and show us. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Even if it's as you say, and I'm thinking about how you're a member of the Hakuseki, you shouldn't feel special to me.
see? Am I his mom? That makes this weird.
Still, my mind has somehow reached the conclusion that you're special.
Unless my mother, who is a member of the Hakuseki clan, made him, and then he's my brother. And then all bets are off. Best route. He may be a form folk, and we may not be genetically related, but close enough.
So, I don't understand it myself either.
After hearing Tominari's answer, I gained a newfound understanding of the vessels. In short, they were beings for which only conclusions existed. No matter how hard they tried, they wouldn't be able to remember the motives or thoughts or even or events that started it all. Wow. Because there was no need to. Sorry, Tominari.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I asked a rude question. If you're a vessel, then it's obvious that you don't have memories.
Oh, it's fine. You don't have to apologize for something like that.
Tominari didn't seem to care at all, and he had a steadfast and gentle smile on his face. In contrast, my mind was full of even more questions. But if that's the case, why does Tominari think of me as someone special? Questions that we will get answers to. Maybe he has some connection with the Hakuseki clan from his time as a tool. Then I can understand why I'd be special. Nah, it's gonna be something else, you know what I mean? Like, we're special because we made him. You know? I'm so curious. Aren't we all? We're gonna figure it out, don't worry. But if I ask him this question, then Tominari's memories might come back. So I shouldn't ask. Right? No, do it. Do it. Vessels who regain their memories or hearts will be eliminated. Okay, yeah, maybe don't actually do it. Don't let him die. Not yet. With that in mind, I close my mouth. I mean, don't ask him and get his memories back yet, because then we can't be like, but Daddy, I love him! When Kyoshiro, to be fair, that's when Yabuta is going to try to kill him. So, because Yabuta's always trying to kill everybody, except for Kinji. Notice that? Afterwards, okay, so let me go back. I don't remember. Well, we arrest Tanichibo and throw him in prison. And I'm assuming that's happening right about now, because this is the last choice we have, so it's probably going to wrap up. Yeah, so it sounds like it. He's calling in his monster. We're fighting him. Oh, right, because it's like, we're in the woods, and then it's a giant blight ball. And then they could all see it over the trees or whatever. Right, okay, this is everybody like, holy fucking shit. So... And then they kind of find out, and I don't know if it's in this, they find out, like, it's the Tanichibo case, like, he's not really Yoshimune's son. Oh, Otaro and, I forgot Otaro and Kinji showed up here. Stop trying to chew my headset. Oh, and then, this is where the Miharu and the CG, because, like, we're having a tea party. Right. And then she's like, you bastard! There was a CG with them, I know there was. Ow! Also, Komame was here. You gotta say Komame's lines. Komame doesn't bite. Komame doesn't bite! Bird's like, then don't poke me. I'm poking you because you nasty. He's like, I bite you because you poke me, and I poke you because you bite me, and then it's just a vicious cycle. You're so soft. I just want to squish you with my face. We skip into stuff. There we go. That was the CG. Okay, now we're here. Once the Tanichibo case had been solved, we continued going about our Oniwaban duties, guarding Samurai Town. We just wrapped up business from the day and were conducting our daily debriefing. Very well then. Let's hear your daily reports. First, Kunitaka and Tominari. Now, bird!
Yes, sir. Today I patrolled Samurai Town with Tominari as per usual.
We tried to gather intel while on patrol, but couldn't find... I don't know why that goes to Kyoshiro. Because it shouldn't be Kyoshiro saying this line. Like, we tried to gather intel while on patrol, but couldn't find anything on the dealer in question. That is either supposed to be Tojo or Tominari. Why would Kyoshiro be popping in when he's like, let's hear from them. You guys were on patrol. And then he jumps in. Anyway, somebody said that, but it shouldn't have been Kyoshiro.
We didn't catch wind of a single thing that might have sparked the incident. We also weren't able to confirm whether a Bladeful had appeared.
I see. And you, Spacey? Chie invited me over for a tea party. I also checked for a That was as far as I got before Kamame, who'd been sitting on my lap, spread her wings as if to assert that she'd been there too. Yeah, that's you. You don't let anybody get a word in edgewise, bird. Oh, yes, I had Komame with me today as well. I mentioned her to Mrs. Tanba earlier, and she asked me to bring Komame along. That's what people want of you, too. That's why we has people at work. We has the person who trained us on what we're doing. He's retiring, and he wants to come meet you because he's coming to work next week. And he is coming to work, and he said he wants to meet the birdie, so he's going to stop by here, our house, to meet you. Very weird. It's very weird because it's like, oh, okay, a person in my house. But, like, I can't begrudge people wanting to meet Mr. Neelix. No, I can't. No, I can't. And I can't take you to work with me. I couldn't drive into the building and stuff you in my purse because you'd be shrieking inside of that. You have a tiny little travel cage. Could you imagine? I get in so much trouble bringing you to work. And yeah, and you probably can't sneak you into somebody's hotel or something. You know, that would also be weird. You know, we can't, I mean, I think being able to take you to work would be great, but people would be like, oh, I get sick because it's a bird, whatever. But people think they can bring their kids who have illnesses and their puppies that people are allergic to. Although, you know, if people brought their puppies or their kitties to work, it'd be kind of fun. It should be a bring your pet to work day, not a bring your kid to work day. That's just stupid. That is stupid. You should bring your pet to work day. But people have to arrange and be like, okay, if it's little animals that are in cages, then those can come in. But not when there are predators like puppies or kitties. And then there'll be a bring your kitty to work day. And people bring their kitties. Yeah, we could rotate. We could rotate every month what day is like bring your puppy to work day. And you could be like, oh, my puppy's good with other puppies. Okay, then you bring your puppy to work. But then you have my puppy's not so great with other puppies. Then you have to coordinate who's allowed to bring their puppies when. Yeah, you have to know your puppies. And that could be bring my birdie to work day. You'd have to sit in a cage all day, though, because you won't wear your harness. He is in the weirdest fucking position, sitting on my hand, but also his head bent over and his legs sticking out. You're fucking bizarre. You're like a little pretzel right now. Anyway. Did you gather any useful information at the tea party? Not really. It was pretty laid back. We mostly just celebrated Mr. Tanba's appointment to the Shogun's Council of Elders. The rest was regular small talk. Someone found a shop that sells delicious tea cakes. A friend of Mrs. Tamba bought a cat for 5 Rio. Hold on, I only have one hand. Rio, a type of gold coin in circulation during the Edo era. 1 Rio was enough to buy approximately 150 kilograms of rice. Enough to feed a person for 1 year. That's a lot of motherfucking rice for a cat. Cat? She said keeping pets has been all the rage in Samurai Town lately. Seems like she invited Kamame today. She wanted to ask what having a pet sparrow was like. I was like, having pets is all the rage in Samurai Town. I'm like, we have a pet. We have a bird. Like, and then before I read the sentence. Cheep, chirp, chirp. Did you want to read the birdie's lines? You're peeping too quietly. I'd have to shove the microphone in your face, and I can't bend that far. Kamame was a real hit, too. We had a lively little chat thanks to her. Okay, they keep putting Kyoshiro on Tojo. Okay. It sounds like Komame's doing a swell job helping you out, Spacey. As the one who raised her, I couldn't be prouder. Cheep! The moment Tojo held out his hand, Kamame flew out of my arms, because he smells like tobacco. We know this. Kamame! She wouldn't run away, would she? It's so funny. They have royally fucked this one up, putting Kyoshiro's name. Holy shit. This is like, holy crap. Your bird was like, the fuck? Despite Tojo's anguished cries, Kamame had already disappeared into the tatami room. Do you need to go potties? Because you're getting really fidgety and you're driving me bonkers, and I don't need you pooping on me. We don't need that. You need to go potties? Is that what it is? The birdie was like, I need to go potties, and that's why she's screaming? Was that what that cheep was? I don't speak bird, despite the fact that I own you. So, is that what it was? Mr. Neelix was like, oh, the birdie was screaming because she needed a potty break. That's what it was? Yeah. Was she doing her poop squeaks like you do? Yeah? Yeah? I know. When you don't do poop squeaks, I can get concerned about you. It's a Conyer thing. He's not the only one that does it. They make like a little when they poop. It's really fucking bizarre. Oh, make sure I didn't pull that out. No, I did not. Okay, good. All right, anyway. She disappeared. Wow, she moves quick. They little fuckers can run. Gah. When will Kamame finally open up to me? It still says Kyoshiro. And then real Kyoshiro's like, well, I gotta talk in my voice. Kyoshiro had been watching over us the entire time, not moving a single muscle. Yeah, that's what I love about this brick wall of a man. I jumped when I saw his deadpan expression. It seems we've gotten sidetracked. My apologies. I didn't really need to report back on that. No worries. Back to the topic at hand. And what about emotional imprints? And did any areas have more than usual? He's just sitting there waiting, and you're like, I'm sorry. And he's like, anyway. Well, his question made me think back to the scene from earlier this afternoon. If a place was thick with emotional imprints, it was safe to assume that there was someone... That was where someone had harbored those same specific emotions. Many times it was where some unspeakable horror had taken place. In the back of my mind, I definitely recalled a place matching that description, but there were fewer emotional imprints overall. They used to be extremely thick everywhere they appeared in Samurai Town, but even those have thinned. Even by the Tanba's house. Yes, sir. In fact, the Tanbas are the very picture of happiness right now. I wouldn't expect any to appear there. I see. Kyoshiro said, looking down at the ground as if deep in thought. Captain, is there something about the Tanba family weighing on your mind? Actually, I've been receiving report after report of suspicious dark shadows from important shogunate officials recently. One of the witnesses was the head of the Tanba household. I thought it might be some kind of blightfall, but if Spacey's assessment is sound, that seems pretty unlikely. Blightfall can't spawn without emotional imprints, after all. The black threads that spawn from people do sometimes transform into Blightfall instantly, but nothing like that has happened. So what do you think the black shadows might be, then? I can name a bunch of things off the top of my head. Enemy spies, ninjas. There's no shortage of people targeting shogunate officials. It's funny and it's really annoying when they keep fucking up Tojo's name and putting Kyoshiro, but I can see Tojo's mouth moving, so I know it's him talking. Blightfall aren't the only ones committing evil deeds, after all. I hope they don't do that throughout throughout Tominari's part. I hope that was just this scene was fucked up. Like, whoever translated this scene is just... Tim, Ronald, the fuck? We made it the whole game with, not a lot of complaints to you guys, but what the fuck? Were you saving it all? Get it out of your systems, assholes! Oh, I see. That's outside our area of expertise, though. Not much we can do there. It's really weird when it goes from Kyoshiro to Kyoshiro, but it's two different people and they're not both Kyoshiro. And on it went. From the Oniwaban's perspective, Ito was pretty peaceful at the moment. There hadn't been a single sighting of a blightfall wielded by a person, our biggest concern, since the Tanichibo case. Even normal blightfall were still only appearing in occasional fits and bursts. In fact, it was so peaceful that I frequently had enough time on my hands to help out at Tojo's school. So, did you get any useful intel out of Tanichibo, Captain? Not a damn thing. It'd be difficult to get anything new out of him, that's for sure. I couldn't get him to give me any straight answers about the Megatama or the dealer. Oh, look at Kyushiro look sad, sweetie. Oh, I'll hold you and pet you and make you feel better. You are my favorite in this district, let's be real. He can't remember where he bought it. He doesn't even seem to know what the dealer looked like. And you're sure he wasn't just playing dumb? You've met Tanichibo, right? We all look at him. You've met Tanichibo, right? I don't think he plays dumb. I think he just is. I'm inclined to say no. Tanichibo claimed from the very beginning that the dealer was the mastermind behind the entire incident. I doubt he would have covered for someone like that. Not to mention, he wasn't hiding anything either. We used aggressive measures to be sure of that. Aggressive measures? Should I explain in more detail? No, thank you. I was like, she's gonna say no. At any rate, I wasn't able to get any info out of Tanichibo. I'm pretty sure the dealer was just using him as a scapegoat. The culprit had forced Tanichibo to use an object that gave him control over a Blightfall, then had erased his memory. Sounds like something Hibie would do. Honestly, it made my blood run cold to think that a person capable of something so unusual could simply disappear into thin air, like a god or some shit. Maybe they were taking a wait-and-see approach. Or perhaps they were out there, silently preparing for their next evil deed, probably.
So is Tanichibo still in jail?
He is. We plan on keeping him there until we've wrapped up all the loose ends in this case. We don't suspect him of anything, but it's entirely possible the Blightfall might try to use him again. It's for his own protection, first and foremost. I suppose you're right, and he definitely knows something, even though he says he doesn't remember. True, but there's been no sign of the dealer trying to get in touch with him. We could at least set a trap. Oh, that's Tojo, sorry.
We could at least set a trap or something in case they come to silence him.
All leads then. Everyone fell silent at Tominari's words, which succinctly summed up the situation. Man, it's very thundery out there. As long as the dealer was still at large, we couldn't really say the Tanichibo case had been solved. Was I doomed to feel like I had a lump in my throat forever? Hi! Good evening! Just then Maharu burst in holding a bundle wrapped in cloth. We were all taken aback by the almost literal way she broke the silence. I simmered a few too many yams, so I thought I'd bring you some. On a related note, there was something I wanted to ask you. She prattled on a bit before looking around, startled. Maharu had only just realized others were present. She immediately retreated behind the door, only her head poking out as she peeked inside. I'm sorry. Were you guys in the middle of something? No worries. We just finished. Do you mind if I come in then? Sure. Be our guest. Well, if you insist. Don't mind if I do. She fucking barges in. Walks out. Can I come in? Oh, don't mind if I do. Like, the moment she had permission, Maharu was back to her usual upbeat self. She opened the door again and came inside. Then she walked up to me and held out the bundle neatly wrapped in cloth. These are for you, Spacey. Eat this when you don't have any other side dishes. Thank you for always looking out for me, Mimi. She stopped by with gifts like this every so often since I'd started living in Edo. I quickly unwrapped the cloth and saw that the container inside was stuffed with perfectly simmered yams. This looks so good. If no one else were here, I'd eat this with my hands right now.
And by the way, didn't you say you wanted to ask something, Maharu?
Again, still says Kyoshiro. What the fuck? I figured maybe eventually, like, with a slight but I guess the whole scene's gonna be fucked up. Oh yeah, I totally did. Spacey, wanna come hang out with me on your next day off? I'd love to go out and do something for a change. Of course, I'd love to. Where would you like to go? Want to sit back and relax in Castletown or go watch a play in the entertainment district? Crowds are exhausting. I was thinking we could go somewhere outside of Edo. How about we pack a lunch and go for a walk? Great idea. That sounds like so much fun. I'll help make our lunches. Please and thank you. I was ecstatic about the unexpected invitation. There'd been so few developments in the case recently, I'd been feeling pretty glum. Hanging out with Maharu would be the perfect way to blow off some steam. Oh yeah, in that case, would you mind if everyone else came with us, Mimi? Huh? The moment I said that out loud, Mimi's threads took on a decidedly gloomy color. Oh, no, were you hoping it would just be the two of us? No, it's fine. Let's all go together. The color of her threads didn't change one bit. Now look what I've done. I should have asked her first. I figured we could all use a break, but maybe I shouldn't have said that. I couldn't take back what I'd already said, though. The mood had already shifted. Everyone seemed ready to go on a walk together. Going as a group would be so much fun. What do you say, Tominari? You should come with... I'll go. He didn't even stop to think about it. No, he's going to go wherever we go.
I thought you said you were going to spend your next day off doing maintenance on your sword. You sure?
Kyotojo. Still so...
That's all right. I'll just finish it the night before.
You don't have to if it's too much trouble, Tominari. I mean, it's important for samurai to take good care of their swords.
I'll go.
You will? Well, if you say so, Tominari. He said he'll just do it on a different day, so it's probably fine. Right?
Tominari's in. How about you, Tojo?
I hate to do this to you, but I can't make it. I promised to open the school on my next day off.
Oh, right. If anything, I'm sorry I can't be there to help.
Nah, it's okay. You're always helping me. Go have some fun.
Thank you. And last but not least, Maharu whispered, looking over at the last person awkwardly, who was, of course...
The look on her face when she looks at him.
Kyoshiro. He stood there waiting on Maharu, looking as dignified as ever, not saying a single word. Even though I only had a side view of her, I could clearly tell Maharu was frowning. I take it that she doesn't want to hang out with Kyoshiro. Why not? I love him. Kyoshiro nodded sagely as though he were aware of Maharu's displeased gaze. Very well. I'll go too.
Learn to read the room, buddy! I figured, listen, I don't know why I thought he'd be a little smarter than this and be like, she is clearly hating me, so I will not go. And no, whoosh, right over his head. You know, it makes fucking sense. The man's a robot, so of course he is not going to get the glare on her face. And no, nah, she hates me. Oh my god. I should have seen this coming, but oh, I thought he was going to be smarter than this. But no, it makes total sense that he wouldn't be. Huh? Yet for some reason he accepted the invitation with a very manlike reply. But why? Why? You were supposed to say no! Can't you see my face? Can't you tell how much I don't want you to come? Is that so? I thought you were just being your usual self, Maharu. He straight up is like, I don't want you there. And he's like, huh. I feel so bad for him. You're the only person I ever make this face at. I never noticed. Maybe we should work on improving our relationship. Don't improve your relationship so much you end up together, because I will throw a fucking fit. Don't touch my fucking robot man, girl. I don't care if you're my sister. I brought you into this world. I will take you the fuck out of it. There's a time and a place for that, okay? Ugh. All I wanted was a nice girls' day out. She's like, Tojo's the only smart one in this room. I knew it. Sorry, Maharu. I'll make up for it another day. But you know what? On second thought, she and Kyoshiro seem to get along pretty well. Don't you dare. Don't you try to set her up with my man.
Spacey, I'm looking forward to our next day off.
Yeah, and no, and then we have adorable little Tominari who's just going to paddle after us like a tiny little kitten. And that was how we all ended up making plans to go out on our next day off from work, except for Tojo, who knows how to read a room. Clearly. But not really. A few days later, Once it was finally time for the Samurai Town crew's day off, we all went for a walk to the outskirts of Ito as promised. Kamame came too, since this wasn't official Oniwaban business.
It's so nice outside. He was looking a bit iffy last night. I'm glad it ended up being such a beautiful sunny day.
Right? Couldn't ask for a better day to go on a walk. Feels so good being out in the sun.
Chirp, chirp! Even Komame seems to be in a good mood. I brought a bunch of rice for you today, Komame. You're gonna love it. Cheep!
I made rice balls for lunch. I'm not sure they'll be as good as the ones you made, though, Mimi.
I'm sure they will. You made them after all. I can't wait to have one.
With that, I turned around to take a quick peek at Tominari and Kyoshiro. We look like we're couples. Like, I know we're romancing Tominari in this route, but, like, I think we need to switch sides because I want to be with our stoic robot. The two of them had been dead silent for the entirety of my friendly chat with Maharu. Smart men, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt when the women folk are talking. Know your place. Standing behind us looking pretty. Perfect. This is how I like my men. Oh no, I need to find a way to include them in the conversation. Look! Mimi and I made everybody lunch. You mentioned you were planning to do that earlier.
Well, thank you. You did a great job. Would you like me to carry that for you?
No thanks, I can handle it. So, anyway, what's your favorite thing to eat with rice?
I don't think I have one.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like talking to two fucking walls. Me neither. You don't say. Much. At all. If anything. Oh, Tojo at least knows how to carry on a conversation. We literally brought the wall and the rock.
Well, that's unusual. Do you have a favorite flavor then?
All that matters to me is that I get proper nutrition. Enough to build muscle is really all I need. Sounds like a fucking gym bro.
Likewise.
Oh, dear God. Shit.
Oh, really? You both, have simple taste.
This is a really bad date. This is so awesome. I love it. This is when you're like, so, like, what do you do? I go to work. Yeah, but like, at what? Work? Uh-huh. What's that like? It's like work. Mm-hmm. This appetizer looks really good. Yeah. The weather is... Yep. Okay. You're trying so hard, asking questions, and they're giving you one-word answers and not fucking expounding on anything? Oh my god. Oh god, it's so funny. Okay. The conversation came to a grinding halt. The vast plots of land devoid of people were nothing like Ito. The silence out here in the open was absolutely deafening. Oh boy. Maybe I should have put more effort into finding something to talk about. No, it's really hard when you're trying to talk to a bunch of rocks. Maybe Tominari and Kyoshiro are chattier when they're talking to each other. I think I'll leave them alone for a bit. No. They're just gonna sit there looking pretty.
Oh yeah! Spacey, I also made some burdock root salad for you today.
You did? Thank you! Your burdock root salad is to die for! It's perfectly seasoned all the way through with just a hint of spice. A great compliment to any meal. It might just be my favorite food in the whole world.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush.
Mimi and I are on a much better date, by the way. No, I really mean it. Your recipe is out of this world. Burdock root salad almost doesn't taste right to me unless it tastes like yours, you know?
Oh, I see.
Maharu's eyes were downcast as she said that, looking a bit sad. Both her expression and the color of her threads were at odds with what we'd just been talking about, which caught my attention. What's wrong, Mimi?
Oh, it's just... I'm a little conflicted. I can't help but wonder if maybe you only feel that way because part of you remembers how setsu's tasted.
Setsu? Setsu was my mother's name. My father would say it over and over again when telling stories about her, searing her name into my brain. That said, I didn't remember much else about her. Do you mean my mom? Yes. But I'm talking about your salad, Mimi, not my mom's. Why would it taste like hers? Maybe because your mom taught her the recipe. She was already gone by the time Miharu came to stay with us. She couldn't have taught Miharu how to make it. Okay, well, that answers that question.
Proof of someone's time on Earth can be left behind in any number of ways, even when they're no longer with us, like in notes or diaries.
Did my mom write down her recipe and you found it?
A long time ago, when I lived with you and your father, I came across some notes Setsu had written about making burdock root salad.
But, like, that's sweet. Like, you made a recipe that my mother had, and that's why I love it so much. And it's like, I don't remember her salad, I remember yours, but it's the fact that you used my mother's recipe to make it is just so wonderful and adorable, and I love it.
I based my recipe on her notes, which is why my recipe is also hers.
Huh. I had next to no memories of my mom, and yet I thought about how distinct the flavor was, and it did seem familiar in a way. Familiar in a way I couldn't quite place. That's when you have to hug Mimi and be like, but that's amazing. You gave me like a little piece of my mom back, Mimi. I'd really like to ask her more about my mom, and see those notes, too. But should we really be talking about something only the two of us understand when all four of us are here to hang out? If Tominari and Kyoshiro are having a nice chat, maybe there's nothing to worry about. Oh my god, you're going to turn around and they're just staring blankly. Suddenly curious, I look back at the two of them. But... Don't worry about them, they're fine. Wow! I love that reaction. Tominari and Kyoshiro were as silent as ever. It seemed there had been no point to leaving them alone after all.
Wow, it's the dead back there. They look bored.
Miharu whispered into my ear, also sounding worried. Strange, right? They were more like their usual selves when we did the open-air tea ceremony.
You think it's because Tojo's not around? He always keeps things upbeat.
Tojo is the glue holding this family together. We're all gonna fall apart.
Cheep! The strange vibe at Komame huddled up in my arms, too. I'd really like to have some fun since we came all the way out here to go on a walk together. What should I do? Ask why, change the subject. Maybe we ask. Because changing the subject didn't work before. Yeah, ask. Changing subjects didn't work. You gotta ask the rocks directly, okay? Oh, that seemed bad. That was like snow falling the wrong way. After racking my brain for a while, I came up with a simple idea. I'll just ask them why.
Wait! Ask them what?
Why they're being so quiet, of course.
Wait, are you serious? You'll make these even more awkward by asking that.
That's what the guide said. It said ask why. I'm pretty sure I didn't scroll down to the bad ending. Any normal person would take offense to being asked that, sure. But they were vessels. I found it hard to believe they were sitting in silence for no reason. In fact, they probably have no qualms about answering my question if I asked. I'd much rather ask an honest question than awkwardly worry myself sick. It won't be rude if I phrase it correctly. The fuck is wrong with you two assholes? Once I'd made up my mind, I mustered up some courage and began to speak. Excuse me, you both seem awfully quiet today. Is something wrong?
Spacey, wait!
I asked before Miharu had the chance to stop me. Tominari and Kyoshiro turned their attention to me without so much as batting an eye. They looked at each other before responding.
That's simple. We're not talking because there's no reason to.
What do you mean?
Well, there's no clear objective for today, unlike the tea ceremony we did, you know. That's why we're not sure what to talk about.
Like we tried asking you questions and you just blinked at us. It didn't seem wise to barge into your conversation.
Then why don't you two talk to each other? Isn't sitting there in silence awkward?
Is it?
Well, no need to force it if there's nothing to talk about. Let
don't think we'd be able to keep ourselves from talking about work anyway. That doesn't bother us.
Really? You guys are so indifferent about everything.
It's so like them to say that, though. It was fitting for a vessel to not bother with anything pointless. And if they weren't bothered by it, then there wasn't really any problem in the end. I need to figure out a way to spontaneously include them in the conversation. I mean, the four of us are supposed to be here together. It sure is sunny today and a bit hot. I looked around and spotted a river just up ahead. I could see the water sparkling in the light from the sun directly overhead. That's it! The moment I spotted the riverbank, I turned to face everyone, enthusiastic. Would you like to hang out on the riverbank over there? It was August. Ow! Although autumn was just around the corner, today was a beautiful sunny day. A bit of fun in the water certainly wouldn't hurt.
Oh, that sounds nice and refreshing. Come on, no time to waste. Chirp, chirp! You two guys!
Well, shall we?
Well, sure thing.
Fortunately, everyone seemed interested. After watching Maharu make a mad dash for the river, Tominari and Kyoshiro followed without a moment's hesitation. We rolled up our kimonos and dipped our feet into the water.
Oh, it's nice and cold.
The water's temperature and current both seem to be fine.
Aren't you cold, Spacey? Oh, what's your step?
I'm fine, thank you, though.
Cheep!
Oh, there's a birdie about to get a bath. I'm pretty sure Komame's about to take tubbies. She's gonna take tubbies. You like watching birdies take tubbies. I feel like that is like bird porn. I feel like that's wildly inappropriate, but like we do when there's videos of people's birdies taking baths. I'm always like, look, and you always get very excited. That sounds dirty and gross, but you like the sound of the water and the birdies chirping. I know. Yeah, 'cause you like tubbies. And you do. You watch other birdies take baths. It's very weird, but it's like kids watching other kids play with toys. But it just seems dirty and weird for a bird to watch another bird take a bath. But you know, did you want to watch? She can take tubbies. It seems so dirty when we say it that way. Kamame chirped, hopping assertively next to the things we'd placed on the ground. Apparently, she wanted to get in the river too. Let me see, Kamame. If I put you in the water, you'll just get washed away.
Why don't we pile up some rocks in the corner and make her a pool of water? That'll be enough for her to swim around in, wouldn't it?
That's a great idea. Let's make her the best pool ever.
Well, in that case, would these rocks do the job? Now we're building a pool for the bird. This is why you should always bring a bird when you're gonna have, like, human walls. I can't call them rocks because now they're picking up rocks, and now it's just too many rocks. We gleefully piled up some rocks off to the side. Although it was nothing special, it was a lot of fun working on it together. Even Tominari and Kyoshiro were actively participating, perhaps because they had a clear objective. Yes, this is exactly the kind of fun I was hoping to have today. A little while later... Okay, the scene's going on a little bit long. I'm going to stop here. We're going to do the a little while later. It's not technically a transition, but it's a transition. We're like 8 minutes over, so watch, it'll be like 2 lines. But we'll do the a little while later. We'll leave with the building a bird bath for Kamame. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.